Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live. How are you all? Sorry for the change of plan today. So we were going to do this live at 6 p.m, but we decided to bring it forward just a little bit to fit other things around it. So are you having a lovely week so far? It's only Wednesday, but being Wednesday lunchtime, you're halfway through already. So not too much further to the weekend. And it does, you know, it gets easier from here on, doesn't it? I can see some comments coming through. Hello to Benita. Hello to Lynn, Carol Lewis as well, Marie Bland. You know, all of you, you join us every time. We're so grateful that you join us week after week and show after show. It's really lovely to have your support. Now, I'm launching my own collection today, and this is a bit of a sneak peek as to what I'm launching. You can tell it's kind of a sea theme. It's very much a sea theme, actually. Hello to Louisa as well, and to Marta. Hi to you. Thank you for joining us. So this is called Deep Blue. So this is from the brand Textures that I design and work with. Do you know what we've been going for? We must be getting on towards... Oh, I don't even know. We must be, we're well over a year now, so we must be getting towards even 2 years now. Hello to Anne as well. Thank you. Oh, Nova, hi to you too. Sorry if I miss anyone. The comments are going really quickly. Now, I've got the comments on Facebook on the computer, which makes life a little bit easier for me, but I've also got you on my phone on YouTube. Hello to Sandra. You were in there really early. Kisses from Portugal. Oh, that's lovely. Karen Williams, hi to you too. And Karen Reeves. There's often a few Karens on YouTube, isn't there? So I have to make sure I've got the right ones, but Karen's from the USA. Linda Sheridan, hello to you. And Mama Bear Marie. Marie, hi, how are you? How are you all? Gemma Crafts. Now, Gemma, very exciting. Gemma today has agreed to do, I don't know if you caught us actually on Friday when we were discussing the craft along. Now, we thought Helen's craft along, Helen Griffin's craft along, was going to be the next one for the Paper Craft Society boxes, but actually it's not. We got it all muddled up. I'll blame me, that's fine, I'll take the blame. So Helen's craft along is actually going to be in December, which makes sense because her box is coming out at the beginning of December. But Claire Rowland's, as you may have heard, Claire isn't carrying on with designing for Daisy May anymore. She has decided to stop and spend more time with her family and looking after herself. So lovely Gemma Lee Crafts, so you'll see her there on YouTube commenting. She is going to be doing the craft along for us tomorrow, so she's going to be recording this for us today, and then we're going to be premiering it tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. It's really exciting. I can't wait to see what Gemma does with that Paper Craft Society boxes. So shall we grab, hello to Valerie as well. Oh, you're having a shoulder, or you've just had a shoulder replacement. You're not actually having one right now, I hope not. Surgeon might not be too happy, but you're frustrated not being able to craft. Yeah, I get it. So hopefully this will help. You can craft along with me. You can just send me crafty vibes and I'll try and do what you're thinking, something like that. And hello to Marie Hopkins as well. So I've got to stop saying hello to people. I love this. I love the interaction. I sit in my office in my studio all day on my own, so I love actually chatting to people, but I'll go back and I'll comment on some of these as well. Yeah, thank you to Gemma, and well done to Gemma. Everyone's commenting. Yeah, congratulations Gemma. Congratulations. We're grateful. We think it's a fantastic idea that you can step in and do the craft along for us. It's great. Okay, so we have got Deep Blue collection. So there's actually 9 items in this collection, so it's actually quite a big one. Now, you may have noticed online this morning, if you had a little quick browse on CraftStash straight away, if you haven't already, here's the website address. There's a big banner when you go on the homepage, so you can click to it straight away. Or there's also a link in the comments. So you can go along and have a look. Now, 3 of the items are on pre-order. That's only by 1 day. A whole day. So I'll show you those 2 items, or 2 of the items last, and then it's the big bundle. Okay, and you will be saving on the big bundle obviously when you purchase that. So if you order that, basically you're not going to notice any difference in delivery because it's going to be coming in tomorrow. So there we go. Now, all the rest of the items I'm absolutely in love with. I'm so happy with everything. There's multiple different ways you can use everything as well. Now, I've had 2 design team members working on this, which I'm thrilled with because the samples they've made are stunning. So I have to say huge thank you to Marta DeBeachka. She's there in the comments. Thank you to you. Your cards are absolutely amazing. And also a name that's new, and I think this name will be popping up quite a lot. So Sarah Jane Smallwood, she's responsible for this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you on the camera above my desk in a moment so you can see it properly. It's beautiful, plus some other things. She's done the canvases that you can see this side behind me, tags, cards in here as well. So let's see. Now we have got items from as low as £6.99, and they are the last two stamp sets that I'm going to show you because they're A6 stamp sets, so we can do you a lovely low price on those. We've got items from £7.49, that's the stencils, but if you're spending over £30 on the collection today, you'll get the stencils for free anyway. All you need to do is pop over to your checkout with things in your basket, and then the stencil option will pop up and say, well, you've spent over £30 on Textures Deep Blue, would you like to put this stencil into your basket for free? And of course you say yes please, and it's a big stencil. It's actually 2 8x8 stencils in one. Okay, so come on down to my desk, let's come and see here. There we go. Now I apologise, the sun's come out, and would you believe it, I actually have blinds in here as well, but unfortunately it's just not blocking the light at all, so I need to do something else about that. But never mind, I'm not going to grumble about the sun at the moment. I've kind of almost got these in order of my favourites. So this is going to be the first one. Excuse me. This is the Wave Crest panel. Now, beautiful die set. I'll just show you that you can see a little sneak peek of it under there. So you get 2 dies in here. There's a lot of detail, but I'm going to be cutting this live for you, and I'll show you. You only need to cut it once, and it cuts all of that detail out. So thank you so much, Marie. Congrats on the new house. Yeah, got keys to a new house yesterday. Very excited, but it's going to be quite a few months before we're living there. It needs a lot of work doing, but yeah, very excited about that. So you have the panel die, but you also have the die that's going to cut it out. So if you want to put this into, I've got one here. Oh look, it's tangled up. If you want to put this into the front of a card base so that it's all intact, you can do that, or you can use the outer dies to cut it away and use it elsewhere, as the designers have here. So Sarah Jane did this one, I believe, just double check. Yes, she did. Absolutely good. I mean, how stunning is that? You can just see the movement in there. Now it's going to fill an A5 card, but of course you can also snip that down if you want to. Hello to Helen Griffin over on YouTube. Hiya. To Paula as well, and Pauline too. Thank you so much. What a lovely collection. So kind of you. I'm trying to keep my voice down a little bit today, just because I've noticed my microphone is it's got a little bit overexcited and it's picking up every little noise lately, and I can't seem to turn it down. So I'm trying to keep my voice as soft as possible for you. So let me know if it's too much, and I'll move my microphone. I'll put it on the floor or something. This one is I believe it's, yes, this one is a Marta one. So gorgeous. She's teamed it with stamps and the whale that you're going to see in just a moment, so you might as well have a look at him now as well. Yeah, I love that. Marta can't decide which one's her favourite. You don't need to choose, you've played with it all. All. I think there was 2 stamp sets you were missing, Marta, but you'll see those in a little while. Thank you, Benita and Louisa. The light's fine, thank you. So this is the Layering Sea Creatures die sets. Now, you know, a lot of my dies, I do them as layering dies because I want to give you the dimension that you get, say, in a stamp, but in your die cutting. But I also want to make it nice and easy for you. So the whale is super duper easy. Let's just have a look at him. I think he's called Wally. I'm calling him Wally. He's fun, and I want the characters to be a little bit fun, almost cartoony as well. I don't want too kind of realistic. And then we've also got the turtle as well. They're both super duper cute. Now the whale is simply 2 layers. The turtle, because you have a couple of extra elements around here, you actually have, for the basic turtle, it's just 5 pieces. That's all. And I have done a video as well that should hopefully be on the CraftStash product page. For this product. If you go down to the bottom, hopefully they'll soon, if they haven't already, link to a YouTube video where I've actually put these 2 together just to show how simple it is, so you're not left on your own. So there's 6 dies in there, all the little bits. So the corner of his shell there and the eye pieces, they all come on one plate, so you're not left with lots of little bits. And again, here's some more examples. Now I've put him in the waves, jumping up, jumping back, because I just thought that was fun. And you can do it with this shape. You can make really simple cards as well with that turtle, and that says Ride the Waves. Kind of reminds me of there was a film, Nemo, where they go with the turtles, don't they, in the current. If you've seen the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that kind of reminds me of that. Great sizes. Yeah, I love a nice big die cut. I don't like fiddly. And then I've got Wally again, and I've just popped him onto a piece of folded cardstock there. Hopefully you can kind of see that under there. So he will lay flat in a card, but then you can just lift him up. And again, on an inky background with, this is my favourite sentiment of the whole collection, and it says, "Well, hello there." And I kind of hear it in a whale's voice as well. So yeah, really fun. I really like that. And then we've got the stamp set. Now textures, it includes a lot of stamping. In fact, one of the demos is going to be stamping, layered stamping as well. I'll show you that in a bit. But this one is some gorgeous sentiments there. I really like as well. You've got nautical but nice. You have got the whale hello there. You've got "You are my anchor." I mean, that's just perfect for anybody who's just helped you out, isn't it? You've got "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." I really like that sentiment. I just think that's perfect for someone who's going through a tough time maybe at the moment, and you're just sort of giving them a glimmer of hope that it's actually, it'll all turn out all right in the end, and they'll actually be stronger for it as well. "May your joy be as deep as the ocean." That could be for anything: birthday, anniversary, wedding, new baby, whatever. You've got all the icons as well, so you can build those up to make backgrounds. And then this is kind of like the focal piece. This is one big stamp, and it's your anchor in there, a stylized anchor with all the text in the background. And the text, you probably can't see it very well, but the text is almost in like an old, really old style. And it kind of reminds me of like a pirate style text. You'll see what I mean when you get this home. But let's take a look. So Marta created this card, which is absolutely beautiful, taking that particular image and just stamping it in black with a little bit of distressing. Really gorgeous. I'm hoping to get time to stamp and emboss this later, actually. And then "You are my anchor." That's perfect. And those dewdrops just set the scene, don't they? And then again, there's that turtle. I think this was Marta as well. And then you've got "Seize the Day" on there. So you can just see it's the perfect kind of sentiment to all these images. Let me just have a look, see. I don't want to miss anyone. Hello to Laura and to Debbie. She says, sorry she's late, had to go for your flu jab. Well, that is important. You can always catch up on these later on if you want to, so don't worry. Your flu jab's definitely more important. Lynn says she loves the collections. Too many great designs from the design team. Honestly, they've been absolutely amazing. I'm blown away. I was going to show you this actually, and I can do, because this particular dice set is, you'll see the size of it on here. So you've got the large, kind of like a porthole die in here. You also get the screw heads as well. Then you get the silhouette of the ship. You get the ocean as well. It's like the seabed. You get the sharks, you get the jellyfish, and then you get, and you can see those around here. So there's the jellyfish, you've got the turtle on there. Oh, there's the shark, sorry. And then all of this is all the seaweed and foliage, and these are all individual dies that you've got in there. You've also got in here ahoy there and make waves. In fact, you can see that. So there's ahoy there on there, and I love the font of this. I just think it's a really readable font, but it kind of looks like it's just been painted over the top. So here's two more examples of this die set. There's 9 dies in there, so there's lots in there. Now Marta's created this. I have to double check. I want to give the right names, the right credit to people. So yes, Marta's created this one with a shaker, but it's kind of got like sand inside it. And Marta, I'm assuming that you purchased this somewhere. It'd be great if you could let us know where you got this from, because that is just absolutely perfect. So you've got the ship in the background just as like a silhouette in there, and then you've got all that sand and the seaweed. It's gorgeous. And then this one I just created, and this is one of the backing papers which you're going to see in a moment, and I've kind of got the light coming down from the top here, and I've used embossing powders in white, silver and gold to kind of capture the glimmering, and yellow ink to hold the embossing powder. I let some of the ink dry before I then embossed some of the streaks. It kind of gives the effect of sunlight coming through the top of the ocean surface. And then you've got the seaweed and everything in there as well, and little white gel pen as well to capture on the silhouettes, just the light hitting them. So that is the porthole die set. There's a lot of metal in there as well, by the way. None of the prices are crazy on these, which I love. If you're looking for just a little treat for yourself, something new, but you do have a budget, which of course we all do this time of year, don't we? This is going to be perfect. Hello to Teresa Singleton. Thank you so much, Teresa. That's very kind of you. She said beautiful collection. So I'm sorry, I'm rustling around, but I'm just trying to, there's a little bit of sticky at the top that holds these in place. I tell you what, let's get rid of the plastic and then I can take these off and show you quite easily. So this is a layering stencil. So what you've got here is, first of all, you've got your ray of light that you can create. You've got all your foliage, you've got bubbles, you've got fish silhouettes as well, if you want to use those. And then you've got this. Now this is really unusual. It's actually as if you're looking up from the seabed, looking up through to the surface of the water, with all those corals and the fish and everything in there. Now there's multiple different ways you can use this. If you watched my show this time last week with the Brother Scan and Cut and the Silhouette Cameo 4 that I was using, so if you didn't, you can go back and watch that, that's absolutely fine. I actually showed you how to scan stencils with the Brother Silhouette, and I cut out, I've got one here still, I cut out this from a stencil, so it's just black cardstock. So I did that, and then I created just an inked background and did this. I just think that's gorgeous. You can use absolutely any colours you want to. Marta she's used inking, she's used hand cutting as well to create this really fun card here, really beautiful. And may your joy be as deep as the ocean there. Now, because it's a stencil, I also played with my gel plate. So putting black on the plate, put the stencil on, remove kind of the excess, put some colour down around it, and that's what I pulled off. So you can kind of see that. I need to play with that and finish that off. And then this one, I used one of the papers. You'll see the papers in a moment, so it's got some text through it. I actually went through the stencil and used a clear embossing powder to mask off the area almost, and then when that had dried, I spritzed the entire thing with black spray paint, or it could be black ink, distress ink, and you've got that effect. So there's so many different ways you can use this image. Now we're on to the two, we're almost at the end here before I start demonstrating, but we're on to the two items that are, they're on pre-order until tomorrow. So your order will be processed tomorrow rather than today. Thank you so much. So Marie Hopkins, that card's gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, Lynn says this would be great, a great pop-up journal, definitely. Have to make one. Yeah, me too. I've got so many on my wish list to make. Now this is my Waves A6 stamp set. I adore this. Okay, this is absolutely beautiful. When you stamp this, you'll notice there's lots of darker areas that naturally come within the stamp, so it kind of gives like a 2-3 dimensional look to it. It looks like a textured stamp. You can use this, of course, horizontally, or you can use it vertically. And then just to fill this space, we've got some additional little pieces and also some sentiments as well. So starfish, some splashes and waves. Ride the waves, make a wish upon a starfish, and I want to go where the waves kiss my feet. And this is beautiful. I think this was Sarah Jane, yeah. Sarah Jane's created this one, like using it both top and bottom. Sarah Jane, I don't know if she's watching, because I don't usually see her commenting, because I think she's, what they call them, the lurkers. She's a lurker. She watches, I believe, but doesn't always comment. But Sarah Jane, if you are watching, can you just let us know what ink you use, because it's almost like a watery kind of ink that you've used for the stamp, and I'm really interested to find out. I mean, I can email you and find out, but I'm sure other people would like to know as well. And then she's also cut out the anchor from that previous stamp set, which is beautiful. And Marta has created this one just using those smaller elements. So you've got, in fact, I've got this with the wrong stamp set, haven't I? I have, but never mind. I'll show you this anyway. This is the sentiment stamp set that's got a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor and all of the little icons on there. And in the background, you can see those backing papers too. Now this one is also a stamp set, and it's also on pre-order until tomorrow. Thank you, Stunning Waves. Thank you very much. Oh, do you know what? I feel like I want to go to the beach now. The sun is shining, why not? I'm right near the coast. Don't think it'd be very warm today though. This is my layering stamp set. This is one of the items I'm going to be demonstrating. It is on pre-order, but it will be dispatched, or it will be processed tomorrow. But because it's layering, you can create images like this. Now I'm really proud of this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. The stamp set is gorgeous. You've got different ways you can use it as well, which I'll show you in demonstration. It's nice and small, so if you are over in the States and you know postage is a big thing to you, this is going to be ideal. It's going to make you smaller images, stamped images for you. And it is a similar image to that of the stencil, but it's in the reverse, so this way you're going to get the black. Anyway, you'll see what I mean when you grab the collection, you get it all home. So we'll demonstrate that. And lastly, before I get to demonstration, we've really got the sun coming through now. Let's hold this up because then you haven't got the sun on it. We've got a paper pack. Now, I've not done an A4 paper pack before, but I love this. Now, with this, I don't know, if you follow me on social media, you'll be able to, you may remember, or you'll be able to look back. And I actually did a little bit of a sneak peek to some papers that I was creating, and I actually created these myself with all my distress inks, water splashes and things like that, sprays and everything, and then just added the font over the top to create them. So you won't find these are not like stock images that you'll find in other paper pads. So you've got your blues and greens are there, your turquoises, you've got your oranges and your browns, which are perfect for your sandy images. So if you're doing, say, the Porthole die set and you want the sand and everything, this is going to be great. You've got your greens as well, so think about your turtle, which is going to be your green and your browns, your whales, going to be your blues. All those colours are in here, but they're just beautiful as they are anyway. That actually looks more like a galaxy now. The more I look at it, I think, well, that's more galaxy than sea, but you know what, deep sea. And then you've got the same there, deep sea as well. You've got all the different variations running through each sheet. So yeah, really, really pleased with these. I think that's all of them. I've used this a lot. You're getting 24 sheets, I believe. I'm just going to double check that because my counting is horrendous. Yeah, 24 sheets. So you do have all of the 6 designs you can see there, and you've got 4 of each. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything, except I do need to bring in this because Sarah Jane also made this, which is absolutely beautiful. I just think that's so cute. If you've got a bathroom and you want some artwork for the wall, that would be absolutely perfect, wouldn't it? And I really like that she's got kind of the turtle and the whale looking at each other, and bubbles. Hello to Kate, how are you? Loving the card designs. Yeah, absolutely, they're stunning, aren't they? And big credit to my design team as well. So it looks like the turtle and the whale are talking to each other. So shall we start with demonstration? I just want to do a quick, I'm going to put this to the side, but I just think that's so fantastic. I believe it was like a tub of snacks. So that's my chair squeaking. So let's start with demonstration. Shall we start from the beginning again and look at that wave panel, the wave crest panel? What I will just do quickly before I get started is I'm going to just pop back to this screen. For those of you who joined late, I am here, hello. More so to show you the details, just so you can see. So the items, the 2 small stamp sets that I showed you at the end there, they're the £6.99 items. Now they are showing as pre-order, but that's, as I say, just till tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll come out as normal. And if you're spending over £30 on the collection, then you'll get the stencil set, those 2 big 8x8 stencils, you'll get those for free. They'll pop up, obviously, till stocks last. So yeah, come on back down to my desk. Let's have a look at this wave panel. So I'm just going to pop the papers to the side. I'm really sorry about the, I see I'm trying to put that there to stop. It's not going to work, is it? I'm really sorry about the sunlight there. I need to do something about, I was actually going to do something about it, and then I had a couple of days off and I completely forgot when I got back that I was, oh look, the sun's got in and it's out again. So with this die, I'm using a nice new one here. We've got the wave, and then we've also got the outline border, because the wave, it keeps it all intact. So let's just start with here, piece of paper, pop this on. Now I've got a trick. I say it's not a trick because I'm telling you all, it's not secret as such, but a way that I cut very, very detailed dies. Now I did say to you, I promise you that you can cut this. I don't like making promises because it does depend on your machine, but if you use the same sandwich as me, and I'm using a cardstock that's around about 200 in weight, not too thick, but still a good cardstock weight. I'm going into my Big Shot, but what I've done is I've taken the top plate off, and I'm going to be replacing the top plate with a cutting mat, a self-healing cutting mat. Size doesn't matter as long as it fits through your machine, and this is going to cut absolutely beautifully. So what I do is I just a little bit of tape, my die onto the paper, into the machine, and then I put my plate, my cutting mat on top. Now because this is not a hard mat, this is actually going to have a little more give than the hard mats, the cutting plates, and it's just going to allow the die to get into all those kind of nooks and crannies of all that design. So what I need to do is I do need to just give this a push as you normally would, just to get this started. And we're actually, the roller's going over the mat rather than your cutting plates here. I'm just going to roll this through, and I'm actually only going to do it the once as well. I'm not going to run it backwards and forwards. There we go, you get your bang at the end. And there we go, look at that. So, okay, now I'm moving my mat and everything. Let's lift this up. That's heavy. There we go. They are heavy machines, aren't they? Let's move it out the way a minute. I will need to come back to that in a moment. But look at this. So, just peel off my sticky, my washi tape. To be honest, hardly needed that, did I? On this side, and hopefully you can see already that that has cut. There we go, look. All the bits are out. Well, I say they're out. They're kind of either in the die or on my craft mat. But look at that. How easy was that? Now, as I say, you've then got the option. Oh no, you'll know I'm a really like tidy crafter. This, it gives me the GBs. We have got a competition, by the way, everybody. I'll tell you about that in a moment. It's not a live one, so if you're not watching this live, you can catch up for the next, usually about the next 7 days, and you can join in the competition. So I'll tell you the details to be able to win some of these items soon. So all I do is I would cut that out just using this. I've just run that through, just pop it up to the edges of the wave there, and you've got your panel. So I have also cut this. You saw a sneak of this earlier actually, but I cut this from a card base. Excuse the sticky and the marks on the back. I put it down onto something on my mat and I don't know what it was, but you can see I've actually cut it directly into a card base. Now this is a much stronger cardstock. You're looking at about 250 for this. It's still cut absolutely beautifully, but by just using this die panel on its own, I managed to cut it into there and keep this edge remaining, which is why I wanted to give you the option to use the edges or not, so you could make a beautiful shaped card base out of this. So let's just add a little bit of colour to this, shall we? I'm going to just, oh, have you seen as well, it does cut very easily. Who else thinks the wave die reminds you of the famous painting? Oh, I didn't think of that. Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen it. Yes, it does. You could, I mean, you could literally make this any colour you wanted to. But it does kind of have a bit of a Japanese feel or Oriental feel about it, doesn't it? Now, who has seen on CraftStash, we've got a new core item. This is a new essential item. I'm going to bring this in now because I'm going to use one, and they're the stencil brushes. I absolutely love these. So there's 12 brushes and they are little round blending brushes. I'm calling them stencil brushes, but you can absolutely use them for any inking. I mean, I'm going to use them here, and this is not a stencil. I'm just going to use them because they're smaller. They're nice firm bristle as well, and I can just pick out parts of the die cut that I want to ink rather than having to get, I mean, I love my brushes. I've got different, as you can see, I've got different size brushes here, but it's a bit harder to get the detail with those. With these, I can get right in there exactly where I want to, and here I just want to get into parts of the wave that isn't spray as such, so like the deeper parts of the wave instead, and leave the spray. So this all down the bottom would probably be mostly the green. I'm using Evergreen Bow, if anyone wanted to know what colour this was. So just giving it a little bit of colour there. You can kind of see as well which bits would be, what's the word? I just had it, foam, which would be sea foam and which will be just your water. There we go. So hopefully you can kind of see that that's quite dark there. Let's blend that. Now let's put another colour behind this to see what it then looks like, because it looks really pretty when you put other colours behind it. So let's take the papers, because we have got, I always think this works best with a dark colour. Look at that, a beautiful dark colour behind it. It's really, really pretty. Or you could go with, see, that's slightly lighter colour. That's really a nice blue, isn't it? It's a nice soft softer blue, or then we've got the turquoise colour. Absolutely gorgeous. So I love that. So you can make your shaped cards with that, and then of course you can pop your whale on. So there's your die cut pieces. Let me see, Lynn, you've got the brushes and you'd recommend them? Absolutely. Do you need a die cutting machine? Oh, sorry, would you need a die cutting machine, i.e. Sizzix Plus? You do need a die cutting machine, but it doesn't have to be A4. You can use this with your smaller ones, so your big shot size, A5 I call them. Just checking, dark colour's more effective. Yeah, it is, absolutely, isn't it? It really stands out with a dark colour. And Teresa said earlier, lovely canvas, thank you. I'm just going to pop over to YouTube just while I'm here. Kathleen Baker, these designs would be great for my daughter's father-in-law who goes fishing in his boat in Anglesey. I love Anglesey. I saw South Stack on the TV yesterday and I was like, oh, I go there. I say go there, not regular. Hello to Elaine, she says amazing samples. Yeah, thank you. The design team have been absolutely fantastic. So there's one of the products. I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to be, I'm trying to do this in the right order. Should we do this stamp set? Shall we do this? Let's see how I made that. So let's take a piece of cardstock, smooth cardstock. I'm just going to move my die cutting machine completely out of the way because I no longer need this, or certainly not at the moment. I'll use that again in a moment. But instead I'm going to bring in my stamping platform, another one of my trusted buddies here. So now you can do this stamp set onto coloured cardstock if you want to, but I really like to first of all work on my background myself. So I'm going to take, should we do a purple and a blue? I mean, I did pink. This one was a pink. I think it was Quiche Flamingo, and it was Salty Ocean. I just felt like I needed to use the Salty Ocean really. But I think I'm going to use Seedless Preserves for this. Now, let's bring those stencil brushes in again. They are absolutely ideal for this because I want to do a small area. So Seedless Preserves is the purple colour. I'm going to, oh, I already had green on there. I didn't realise. Never mind. Thank you, Christine. She says, beautiful new collection. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go round in a circle with this colour. Okay, and I'm going to try and leave a bit of really pale, you can just about see it there, the really pale white. And I'm just working around in circles. I'm not going to be doing any up, down, side, side, anything like that. I have to apologise for that sun. I don't know that I can do anything about it, I'm afraid, except ask the sun to go away, which, to be honest, we don't want to do at the moment, do we? And then I'm going to take another one and I'm going to do Salty Ocean. I might come back in a moment. I might be coming back to the Seedless Preserves, and I'm just going to lightly drag this around into the purple and then work my way out. And again, be ever so gentle when you first touch the paper with this, and start blending that into that purple a little bit. And then once you've got a clear gap between the purple and the blue, if you want to, you can come in with a larger blending brush to kind of fill the area. But again, always constantly working in those circles, and it soon builds up. Like I say, if you don't like ink blending, if ink blending is not your thing, if you don't have the time for it, maybe you need a quick card, you can still do quick cards with this because you can use those pattern papers. The papers that I just showed you in the paper pack, they're absolutely ideal for putting behind here in place of this blended piece. So you still have some lovely colours. There we go. I think that's about big enough now. So I've got myself a bit of a circle. I'm going to do my first layer of all the foliage and the caves now. I'm going to take this large square. I'm going to place it so that that circle of blue is or purple, pink is kind of in the centre, and put this into my stamping platform. I've got an idea. I know I'm going to move my furniture. I've got a big bookcase. It's got all of my dies and things stacked into it, and it's solid, no light's getting through there, and it sounds quite tall, so I'm going to put that right where the sun hits. I think it's because the seasons have changed, now it's winter, the sun's coming through, because it didn't come through here in the summer, so I didn't realise until just really the last week or two that the sun was hitting the desk. South Stack Lighthouse is wonderful to visit on a very blustery day, even better for sunset. Yeah, you've lost us on Facebook, have you really? Is that just you? I think it might be yourself. It looks, can anybody tell me whether you are? I've still got comments on Facebook. It doesn't say that I've lost you. Can you wash the brushes? Yes, you absolutely can, Marie. You can wash the brushes in soapy water. Anyone on Facebook, if you don't mind just commenting and letting me know that it's all okay there. It might just be Rena, unfortunately, but thank you, Rena. She says it looks beautiful anyway. Yeah, it's all okay on Facebook. Oh, panic. Sorry, Rena, I think it's just, it might have just been your connection perhaps. Thank you all. Nova, Christine and Marta. Yeah, you're all commenting. You're all commenting. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp this, but I'm not going to stamp it in black initially. I'm going to use Uncharted Mariner. So this is a dark blue. It's actually the second from most recent colour that Mr. Holtz bought out. It's a lovely, lovely colour. It's a nice deep blue, but it's not as dark as we're going to get in a moment. So it's kind of going to add another layer to the coral. So what I've done is I've gone over the stamp with that. I think it's pretty much over it all. Just checking now, because it's an oxide and the inks, because they react with water, the way they're put together, they don't hold brilliantly on a stamp. They're actually better for ink blending. So on the stamp, all you need to do is take your water and just give it a fine mist, very fine mist of water. Now when I put this down onto my image, that water is just going to allow the ink to kind of squelch a little bit and just to spread out a bit more than it would have done otherwise. So we should get a really nice solid image. So I'm just going to press this down all the way around the edge, and there's a lot of detail there. Oh, I've got a little bit in the middle, never mind. One thing I did forget to say was that you really should clean off the centre before you stamp, just in case, like me, you press it down in the middle. But I think I can work around that. So here you go, let's fix accidents as they happen. So you can see the effect we're starting to get. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water, clean water, and I'm going to just lay it over the centre there where that accidentally just touched. I'm just going to let that sit there for a moment, not for too long, just for a moment. Hopefully start that reacting with the ink underneath. Now it's going to react with the pink as well. And then I'm just going to lift that off. There we go. So that's lightened that a little bit. We're going to stamp over the top in a minute anyway, but it'll be better. So now we're going to lift this up, and what I'm going to do is turn it. Now I had it this way, so let's turn it. I'm always indecisive here. I think let's turn it this way this time. So you can turn it any one of the three ways, so 90 degrees each time. Just pick that up. It's a good idea actually, because you've got a flat area here, to just, once you've got your stamp position, just lift up a corner and make sure there's no air bubbles under the centre there. It's something I just usually tend to do, unless I'm demonstrating, then I forget. So I'm going to take, this is if I can see it, it was here a minute ago. Oh, here it is, it's hiding. My tape. This is my low tack tape from CraftStash. I'm just going to mask off a couple of the plants that come right into the middle of the stamp set, just because I'd rather they didn't stamp this time round. So I'm just going to mask them off, and I will blend that in a moment. And this time I'm going to use, let's use my VersaFine clay, so a very, very deep black. Really, this is a really nice juicy one, because I think I've been saying for a while my VersaFine is drying up. I need a new one. I finally got a new one. I actually had one, I just didn't want to open it. Have you got that? Have you got like ink pads and things? Keep using your old ones and keep making them go a little bit further. And there we go. I'm just now going to peel off this masking from here. There we go. Put that in straight into the bin and nowhere else because it's got a lot of ink on it. And where I did the masking, I'm just going to blot the edges. I'm just going to make sure that it doesn't look like I've got a really solid straight line. And come over onto the stamped image. I think we'll just put the whale together after this. So if you want to know, I did mention, if you want to know how to win the collection, there's a post on Facebook and there's a post on Instagram as well, and you can enter both. And we'll give you about a week. It's just a really simple, I think it's just a quick comment on the post and you win, or you win. Okay, a quick comment on the post and you're in with a chance of winning. Your name's in the hat as such. So go and check that out after the live, Instagram and Facebook. There we go. You can see the effect. Now this is where it all comes to life. I'm going to wash that in a moment. Put that to the side. I just need my fishies. My fishies, and I think I'm going to put it so that they're circling around that white area. So just lift that up. I'll show you this in a moment. You're back there. Oh, we're back. Okay, thank you, Rena. Oh, what's Marta said? Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking. You're having a little conversation between yourselves. I'm not going to scroll back. Hello to Gillian, how are you? Hi Lou and everyone, sorry I'm late, just on your lunch break. I'm just very, very grateful you've joined us on your lunch break, Gillian. Thank you so much. But you can always catch up later. So just pressing those animals down. We've got a turtle, we've got what looks like whales, little fish. There. And then you've got the effect of all the layering in there. You can see the blue where I accidentally put some blue in there, but never mind, almost saved it. It will be okay. So there's one effect, and I think I had another one. Here's one where I used, instead of blue, I used green for the corals that are a bit closer to the surface. So you've got the really dark ones that are right near the bottom of the ocean, and then as you're looking up towards the surface of the water, you're getting the ones that are nearer and they're capturing the light. And you can of course be twisting this and doing this in different ways, different colours as well, blues and such. So thank you all. Thank you Lynn, thank you Marie, saying they like that. Okay, now one more thing I just need to do to show you today. How am I doing for time? 45 minutes, that's not too bad actually. I'm not too bad. I'm just going to do one more thing. I am going to use, now where have I put him? I have my little friends, and I usually have paper inside them. Yeah, here they are. Here's my whales. So this is Wally the whale. I've got an Uncle Wally, so that's why I wanted to call him Wally the whale. Now, he comes in two parts. This one is absolutely perfect, and it's actually something I haven't done yet, but I intend on doing, is a shaker card with him, because he is just the perfect whale silhouette, isn't he? So I'm going to use him to create a shaker card at some point. So keep an eye on my own YouTube for that, and I'll try and get CraftStash sharing it too. Look at me, I'm tidying up as I'm talking. I need to stop it. I'll just put those there and then I'll be happy. Okay. So there's the silhouette, and then you have the detail that goes on top. Now this also has, it's almost as if he's been splashing, and he's got water, like the reflection of water highlights, sea foam all over him. So you layer the two together. Now you can either have the bottom or the top one as lighter and darker, it doesn't matter, you'll get a different look for each one. And you can make him absolutely any colour you want. If you wanted to make a couple, you could do a blue one and maybe a pink one. For obviously a girl and a boy. Again, up to you. So I'm going to cut from the dark colour. I'm going to cut the darkest blue from my papers. I'm just going to do my cleaning up, which unfortunately is going on the floor because my bin is far too far away for me to reach it right now. I moved it out the way earlier. I'm going to switch my plates back over because this is not a very, very detailed die. I don't need to be using the rubber mat as I did. I'm just going to use my normal plate, so put that back on. So just tack him down there, and then I can tack, have I hidden it under here? No, I haven't. Where have I just put that other piece of paper? Can anyone see it? I've done move things around, don't I? Okay, I'm going a little bit on the crazy side here. I've just put down a piece of paper somewhere and I didn't mean to. Never mind, let's cut another one, shall we? Find another one to cut. Shall we go with the green? I'll find it in just a moment. Literally in a moment I will see it. Oh, that's where it went. Never mind, it's probably on my lap. Come on, some crafters, you must do that time after time. Find you lose things that you literally just put them down. So a little bit of tape on him. Let's run them both through. Where did you go? I bet when I pick this up, I'm going to find them, aren't I? One piece of paper, pale blue paper. I don't know where it is. Let's run these through. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. 1 and 2. Now, I think it's a good idea to use tweezers with these because when you're gluing the top layer, there's one. Look, really fun silhouette. Where's the other one? There he is. When you're holding this, you've got a lot of detail and you need to line them up pretty much perfectly. So most of the little pieces are out of there. Let's just take a pokey tool. Oh, I knew I'd find it. I put it down with the stamping platform. I moved it out the way. Oh well, it's there for another time. So you can see it's a bit floppy because you've got bits cut out of it. So tweezers are a really good idea for this. As is, if I've got it here. See, what I've done is I've put all the cards that the design team made on top of my tool bag so that everything's under there. So I'm just going to put glue over this. I can't find, somewhere I've got my fine tip applicator and inside I've actually got CraftStash glue. Well, it's called Creative Glue. It's brilliant. That's what I was looking for. But I don't want to waste your time today, especially if you're like Julie, you're on your lunch break. I don't want to waste your time looking for my tools and things. So I'm just going to place him down. It's exactly the same size and shape. And just lift this over the top and line up the tail as well. And you'll notice there's a bit missing at the tail, so that's so the dark colour can come through. And then if you want to, of course, you can go around the edge. Let's just take the blue, dark blue, and go around the edge. Again, our stencil brushes are going to be perfect for this because it's just that small amount of detail that you can add into him. I would definitely go under the tummy and on the tops of the fins there, under the fins too, because that's, I guess, where shadows would be most. Make sure he's all glued down. He's fun. And because you're using these papers as well, the A4 paper pack that comes with the collection, you're going to get all the texture and detail in there, so it's not just solid cardstock. And you can, of course, you can use solid cardstock if you want to, but I just think you get that little bit more for your money, more interest in the cut too. There we go. So there's him cut out. Let's just pop him on top of our wave that we did. So we've got our wave, put him in there. Let's pop a piece of dark cardstock underneath just so you can really see the wave. Look at him splashing about in there. Isn't he just beautiful? That's a lot of the same colours all together because you can mix and match and really make him stand out. Now one more thing I want to show you is I used the same die set, and you can do the same with the turtle as well if you want to cut out 2 pieces of adhesive foam, which I've done here, and I've actually stuck them to some acetate, and then I can stamp with them. In fact, I can do that now and show you how I stamp with them. Oh no, I wanted to show you the anchor stamp as well. I'll do that very quickly. We'll do everything very quickly. So let's first of all start with the solid whale. I'm using my distress oxides and I'm just going to press all over the foam. So this is just white sticky foam. It's still sticky on the top surface, but that soon it eventually wears down with the inking and things. It doesn't affect your paper because the ink kind of stops the stickiness. I'm going to spritz this with a little bit of water, just as I did with the Caves stamp. and then pop that on here and just press it down with my fingers. That's what I'm going to do. Now for this layer, I'm also going to encourage, there, I'm going to encourage that to go a little more water-like. So just starting to wick out in places. Can you see if I do it a bit more there and a bit more there? That's enough. So then I can dry this off. Again, once again, I didn't clean the background of the stamp. So these bits wouldn't be here. But you know, you can do better than me. You can do a better job than me. I usually clean up either the stamping platform or those bits. There we go. So your dies are also stamps. There's one layer. I think that's enough. And then I'm going to do another layer. Let's do Uncharted Mariner. Love this colour, absolutely adore this colour. So nice thick layer here. Again, pressing it all over. This time I am going to go round and I am going to remember to remove the ink from the background because I've just made that mistake. So just wrapping kitchen towel around my finger, because the foam is quite low down to the acetate. There's not too much depth with it. It's not the same way as you would get a proper stamp. So that's why you tend to get capture the background a bit easier. So once again, a slight mist of water, just a bit. That's going to help spread that ink ever so slightly. And now I'm going to go directly back over the top of where I was before. I'm going to bend this upwards and I'm just going to concentrate on that fin, then that fin, and the head, and then the tail, and it should all just fall into the same place as before. Pressing the detail down. Visitors, never mind Elaine, I'll see you another time. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, if you use the brayer, Marta, you can keep it cleaner. You've lost a full size. Oh, you've lost a full size scoreboard. How did you do that? Just how? And then we've got our whale stamped, and you can do an inky background. You can do splashes and things like that as well if you want to, just to get a little bit more. Now, one last thing. Before I go today, I'm just going to do a little bit more stamping, and we're going to stamp the anchor. So the anchor is so beautiful. Such a pretty stamp. I've actually made a mess, everybody, and if you know me, I don't like mess, so I know what I'll be doing this afternoon. Just tidying up. Let me see, there's some comments there, but I think I need to read back. I think we're midway through conversation there, so I'll have a read back and come back to that. That's Anya. I will read your comment in a moment. So just picking up this stamp with onto craft cardstock, and I'm going to use an ink rather than an oxide. So this one is walnut stain, and this just will allow me a little bit more to spread the ink into the craft cardstock. There we go. So just pressing this. So this is going to be quite subtle. Hopefully you'll see it though. We will bring out the detail in a moment. There we go. Lots of detail. Make sure picked it all up. Yep, perfect. Now I'm going to just spritz a little water. Just allow that to bleed out ever so slightly. Okay, give that a moment. Now I'm going to use my heat gun to speed up the drying of this, but I'm not moving my stamp or my paper. It's all going to stay there. In fact, I could use a bit of kitchen towel as well. So I just want the ink to start wicking and bleeding out. Yeah, the whale is cool, isn't it? Lynn on Facebook says she loves the whale. So detailed. Yeah, he is detailed, but he's fun as well at the same time. Now this needs to be extremely dry for the next stage. Really dry. Now that's lovely. That just looks like a lovely subtle background, doesn't it? You can't do this next stage unless this is really dry. And craft cardstock, because it's usually sort of the one I get certainly is recycled paper, it's ever so absorbent. There we go. I think we're there. So that is a nice subtle effect there, just with because we added the water. So now what I'm going to do is take my Versamark. I'm going to go directly over the top, exactly where we just stamped. And hopefully some of that brown where I sprayed the water and where it wicked out, hopefully some of that brown ink will just peek out from under the white. It just gives it a little bit of a drop shadow. So press down, particularly around the anchor. That's like the bit of detail that I want to get most. So everybody, could you let me know in the comments, what would you, or who would you be sending cards, these sort of C effect cards to? Would it just be gentlemen? Would it be children? Would it be any occasion? Do you know people who love... Well, hello Lynn, do you know people who love fishing and the sea? Do you live near the coast? Whatever it may be. I'd love to know. Hello Lynn, she says sorry she's late. We'll go back and see from the start later. Yeah. Go back and watch. We've done quite a few. This is sort of, I think it's about my fourth or fifth sort of little demo. I'm doing little techniques today, Lynn, rather than full cards. We've got some amazing cards from the design team. They're absolutely fabulous. And I thought I could actually get to show you a bit more this way. So we've got the white. Let's put the lid on my embossing powder first. Lesson learned from previous mistake. Do not start embossing until you put the lid on, because otherwise you will end up with powder everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And let's just start heating this. Now you can heat it from on top, or you can heat it from down below. So while I'm doing this, I'll just remind you, we've got we will have full collection of this. It may say pre-order, that's because the 2 smaller stamp sets will be coming in tomorrow. So if you're looking at the pre-order items, that's only tomorrow. It's not too far away. And the bundle is a really good price as well, actually. I was really pleased with the cost of the bundle. Then we've got, if you spend over £30 on the deep blue collection, you can get a free stencil set, and that's 2 different 8x8 stencils in one pack. Lynn says her nephew has special needs and he loves animals, whales and dolphins the most. Ah, lovely. You never know, I could do a dolphin another time. We've certainly got the whale here. Bonita, I have people in my life who love nautical sea theme and some work on a ship. Oh, lovely. Lynn said her dad and male friends who love fishing. Brilliant. Now, I'm glad there's lots of people who would like these as well. Certainly I knew lots of people, but it's always hard to know, will everybody else have the same sort of family and friends and hobbies and such. I'm just making sure I've captured every edge of this stamp set. There we go. So I've got the white. Now I can see this. I think you're going to struggle to see it through the camera, but what you've got there is you've got the white, but you've also got the darker outline, particularly around the anchor, and it's almost like a drop shadow from the dark ink that we put on first, and then the white, so it kind of looks dimensional. Hello Anne, how are you? Sorry, just joining in a little bit late. Happy to see what you're doing with this collection. Hello to everyone. Hello to everybody. Oh, Lynn went whale watching in Canada a few years ago. Do you do scrapbooking or anything like that, memory keeping, Lynn? Because that would be perfect. So there we go. I'm going to come back so you can see the well, I don't know if you will see it actually, the mess I've made, because I have got a mess. Look, I've actually got a mess today. Don't usually make too much mess, do I? But I have today. I'm going to have to clean it up. But that's, I think, everything from the collection. So you've got 9 new items. 2 of the items are on pre-order until tomorrow, just because we couldn't quite get them on out ready for you today. But if you order now, they'll just be dispatched tomorrow instead. Oh, and on CraftStash we do have the next day delivery option. So if you are in a hurry for anything at all, even if it's just cardstock and adhesive, you can choose, I believe it's £5.99. You can, or something along those lines. You can choose next day delivery. So that's an extra bonus if you do need to get things super speedy. Thank you so much everybody for joining me. Don't forget, you can get the collection online. It's all there. You've got the linked comment that's been pinned so you can just click on there if it's easier for you, or go to CraftStash. On the homepage today you've got a big banner at the top. If you click on that banner, it's going to take you to everything. But I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much for taking time on a Wednesday. I've loved chatting to you. I like that I can see the comments a lot easier now. Apologies for everyone on YouTube because I couldn't get Facebook and YouTube comments up at the same time, but I do appreciate you being here with me. Now pop over to the Facebook page, the CraftStash. It might be in the CraftStash chat group, actually, I'm not sure, either in the CraftStash chat group. If you've not already joined, please do apply to join, because or ask to join, because it's a really fun group. Or otherwise on the CraftStash page there's a competition to enter on Facebook, and then another one on Instagram to win a selection of these products. And if you do win and you've already purchased, we'll always refund you, so don't worry about that. But thank you so much, everybody. One more thing to mention, actually, Marta's just mentioned it and I nearly forgot. Marta has done a beautiful, honestly beautiful card with this that you'll be able to see over on her YouTube at 6 p.m. tonight. So she's just linked it in the Facebook comments for everybody. So thank you, Marta. Thank you again to Sarah Jane too for all your wonderful work on this collection. And thank you, everybody, for coming and joining me. So I'll see you on Friday with a brand new card making magic launch. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.